Hello everybody and welcome to a brand new video. So the other day I had an idea. I wanted to test a 1 hour of flipping with someone who is undercutting versus 1 hour of flipping with somebody who is not. Generally people feel that undercutting will get you more profit per hour, which I would say is probably the case. Now I'm not really trying to prove anything here, I'm just curious to see what the result is. So we're going to see if undercutting is actually going to be more effective per hour. What we're going to be flipping is only high volume items, and we're going to be taking it from the top 100 most traded items list on the RuneScape website. So we've gone ahead and put 100 mil onto each account. Now there is a potential for me to undercut myself, however I'm not going to be doing the exact same items because that's probably not going to be a fair comparison. I'm probably going to overlap items a few times during the hour, however mostly I'm going to be picking different items. So the account on the left is going to be undercutting and the account on the right is not going to be. We have a little list of the top 100 items here which we will be taking from throughout the hour. Obviously we will be skipping items like Pure Essence, Fire Runes, Earth Runes, Water Runes, stuff like that, and just doing the more viable ones. Alright, so let's start with 1 hour and let's go. So we're going to start with the account on the right, which is not going to be undercutting. So every time we're going to be checking the margin by hand, and we're just going to put in pretty much exactly what it is. Now there could still be a fair bit of luck going on here, so one account could just get lucky, and we're going to alternate. So we'll start with coal on this side. Okay, so 126 to 130, that's okay. We'll undercut by 1 GP, and we're going to do 10,000. So, well, the offer on the right is actually coming through quicker so far. 2 GP margin, sure. Alright, that's not really fair. 180 to 200 for the cannonball, that's pretty strong. Maybe we'll just do it on this account too. So we'll do this for 180 because I already checked it. And we'll do 7k cannonballs. Alright, we got another pretty good margin on the rune darts, which we're going to do on this account here. 7k rune darts. And maybe we'll just do it on this account as well because that's just, well, kind of fair. It's such a good margin. Okay, so we'll turn around and sell some of these items off. 201, wow. Alright, so we'll go pop that in for 200. We're going to be undercutting on the sell limit as well. 130. Alright, won't undercut on that one just because it's such a low margin. Okay, on the right here we have all of the gold ore coming through and pretty much all of the coal. So we'll try selling it for 356 just because that's what we bought it for. And wow, we already sold all that cannonballs. That's a little unfair. We got such a good margin on that. Unfortunately, still don't have any cannonballs coming through on my other account yet. Okay, raw sharks have a 6 GP margin. We'll do that. And they have a pretty high limit too, so we'll go for 14k raw shark. We have a lot of money to work with here. We're trying to keep this as fair as possible, but I know in my head as I'm doing this, it's impossible to keep this totally fair. So I mean, that's a similar item, we'll do it, even though it's not really worth it, but I mean 12k, that should go pretty quickly for magic logs. Alright, the account on the right, good margin for death runes, we'll do 10k of those. And we should still get a 3 GP margin on coal. And maybe we'll drop the gold ore down to a 1 GP margin, not very good unfortunately. Alright, so the account on the right, we have all of the rune darts coming through. 1172, and we bought them for 1144, oh my god. Okay, so right after I put that in, the other rune darts came through on the other account, which we're going to pop in for 1172. We already price checked that, so that'll be fine. Alright, the mithril bar has a decent margin on it as well. We'll go ahead and put an offer in for 10k of these guys. So we're going to get a 5 GP margin on this one, pretty decent. Alright, we'll do blood runes on the left account, undercutting again by 1 GP. Alright, we got a good margin on manta rays for the right account, and I don't know, we'll do 10,000 manta rays. I'm not really sure the exact limit there. So the account on the left, we can pull out 2 offers that are completely completed, and we'll toss in the blood runes for whatever price. We got a good margin on death runes on the right account. That'll be about 70k right there if those sell off, so that's pretty nice. Alright, so the margin on cooked caramboan is massive. I don't know if it's going to keep that way, but let's go ahead and give it a whirl. Probably not going to stay at almost 100 GP, that would be ridiculous. And we'll pull out the blood runes as well. We're going to try to keep an even amount of offers on both sides since it seems unlikely that I will max out the offer slots at this rate. Alright, raw monkfish has an 8 GP margin, that's quite good. On the right, we have a few offers nearly sold and another cannonball offer almost bought. Okay, we have a weird margin on adamant bolts as well. We'll try undercutting that and do 10,000. More than likely, I would have checked the cooked caramboans again because that margin, there's no way that's going to stay. So we'll have a look at the cooked caramboan again. So yeah, I guess I'll leave it there. Maybe someone will dump in a bunch of caramboans by accident. Okay, we got a 4 GP margin for the account on the right, the non-undercutting one. Let's say another 10,000 on that one. We have sold off all of the rune darts, which is nice. And we'll just pull out the cannonball offer and recheck it right now. Okay, an 8 GP margin on air orbs. That is decent. A little expensive, but I mean, we have the cash. And a 5 GP margin on sharks, which we'll do on the right account as well, I believe. So on the undercutting account, we bought all of the mithril bars all at once, which is kind of cool. And we're looking to sell them for 805. Oh, good. 2 GP margin. That's a little lame, but that's okay. Okay, red chinchompas have a very good margin. We'll go do, well, 6995. It's like a 30 GP margin on red chinchompas. That's quite good. I feel like I'm getting a little luckier and getting better margins on this left account, which isn't totally fair. Okay, a decent margin on dragon bones for the non-undercutting account. We'll do, well, as many as we can, pretty much. Okay, so these adamant bolts still have a weird margin on them. I don't know what I should try selling them for. I think if I go for that high, 300, it might never sell. So we're going to go for 249. Okay, the account on the right will have a 3 GP margin here. Pretty good. And we'll do 10K. So I'm going to do Zolver scales on the right account. 3 GP is actually quite good considering I can do 30K of them. The account on the left sold all the mithril bars, and we're also going to sell the magic logs now. We're going to sell the magic logs for 1094. That's also a pretty good margin. All right, 6 GP on law runes is pretty good, I would say. No more of the adamant bolts came through, unfortunately. On the right account, we have all the dragon bones, I just realized. Well, most of them anyway. And we're going to sell them for a 6 GP margin. Not amazing, but still good. 2720. So the account that is undercutting is clearly getting items quicker and dumping them quicker, which in the high volume market is kind of important. However, the account on the right is theoretically getting higher margins. However, I think the account on the left is easily compensating that by having a higher turnover, or at least we're cycling through the items quicker. Because for stuff like sharks and the soul runes here, the margin changed too quickly for me to actually get any. So while I'm patiently waiting, the margin has totally changed now. Okay, that's actually a decent margin on mahogany planks. We'll do 12,000 mahogany planks for 25 mil. Pretty expensive, but we got the money. And we sold off all of the magic logs. And we are pretty much at the halfway point now. A decent margin of a 9 GP on rune dart tips. We'll do 11K of those. And we will undercut on the sell price here. We're getting about a 6 GP margin on raw monkfish, which is quite good, honestly. Overall, both these accounts are doing fairly well. Alright, just a 3 GP margin on unstrung magic longbows. Not amazing, but we'll do it. Okay, an 11 GP margin on battle staves. That's good, however, the price changes so frequently for this and is expensive. We will not be able to do too much at once. Just 3K of them. Alright, we're going to do dragon bones on the undercutting account now. We did it on the other account, so we'll do 7,000 dragon bones for a price of 18 mil. We're going to try amethyst arrows on the right account. That is going to be a 11 GP margin, which is quite good for, well, 200 GP arrow. All right, we're probably just going to pull some of these offers off on our undercutting account because they're just coming through pretty slowly. 1800 though, look at that. That is such a big margin. We'll undercut on the sell offer as well. We have all the dragon bones coming through, which will go price check once again. We're going to sell them for 2744, which is about a 200K profit just on dragon bones alone. Wow. Okay, maybe we'll try Revenant Ether on my right account. That is a 4 GP margin, which is pretty good. And we could do 30,000 of them. Zolver Scales did not work, which is a similar item to this. So we'll maybe see if this actually does anything. Okay, so on the right account, we have all the battle staffs through. That took a surprising amount of time considering the item. We sold off all of the adamant bolt on the left account, and that is a very good margin. We're going to work on pulling some stuff out to sell now. We'll sell it for 1489. Everything else here is selling. Yep. On the other side, we're going to pull any buy offers out now because we're getting pretty close to the end. Manta rays can actually sell for a 18 GP margin. That's probably one of the better ones we have on this account. And the diamond bolts we got to pull out as well. And actually, we're getting a 4 GP margin on the Revenant Ether. If we had gotten all 30K of that, would have actually been pretty good. So now we have everything in the sell. We'll just leave it, and we'll come back when the timer's done. All right, guys. So here's where we stand. The timer is almost ran out. We have about a minute and a half left. So we have some problems. On this right account, these air orbs are dropping incredibly low. And without really being able to undercut, they've barely sold any. So let's go ahead and collect everything we have on both accounts. And you can see that the account on the left has sold off the majority of its stuff. And the account on the right still has a few issues. These are both the right prices. They're just taking a while to sell. This one, I don't know. It just seems to keep dropping. We'll probably just leave it in for a while, then come back when it's all sold, but let's just try selling it for 14.20. So we're going to lose a ton of money on this air orb. We're going to maybe take into account that was probably a bit unlucky to begin with here. So we lost probably 500k or something off the air orbs alone. So we'll keep that in mind when we go ahead and compare the results. So we'll leave the rest of these guys in here. When they're sold, we'll come back and see how much money we made in profit. All right, guys, so we got a little impatient and we just insta-sold the stuff off on both accounts. So I guess it's fair. Now keep in mind the one on the right might even be negative. I don't know. We lost so much money on those air orbs. I'm going to keep in mind 500k might be due just to extremely bad luck. So we collected both sides and we're at 100 mil on both accounts, which means we did not quite break a mil on either one, which is a little surprising. I thought the one on the left, maybe we would have. So on the account where we didn't undercut at all, we just managed to break even at the end. So we would have probably been at about a 500k profit. However, because of the air orbs alone, we lost a ton of money. So that is pretty lame. On the left account, we made 969k. So I'm going to say we probably made 400k more on the left account. So yes, undercutting on high volume items will lead to lower margins. However, there is a benefit in the fact that you switch through items quicker and you have less of a likelihood to have your items drop in price like the air orbs did, because I would have been able to sell them off much quicker and for much less of a loss. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to leave a like. I always appreciate it, and I will see you next time.